This is Lawrence Tam. You're watching this live. If you're probably watching this on my blog, you're watching on some other ones, somebody else's blog on our team. Maybe you're watching on your YouTube channels live. And if you're here, you're in for a treat. We're going to be talking about what we do. We'd like to say primary, but it's not really what we're about. We're all about just kind of building our own businesses, how we build it. One way we build it is we recommend people building their businesses on the internet using what we call Empower. And we'll dive into that, and we'll have an open question and answer kind of forum, FAQs. The people below are my team leads. By all means, please mute out until we bring you on. We are going to have one place we're going to have questions, and that is going to be in the Facebook group. And so let me see if I can I wonder how they see this. If I put it in the chat, they won't see it. Let me show my screen. Show my screen. Let me show this screen. That should work. And so that is, oh, actually, I know there's a better way to do it. Let me try this way. Let me bring up my tablet. Desktop 1. Okay. All right, hold on. So I think people can read it if I were to write it. Let's go here. Actually, no, I can type it. Let's try that. Let's try this. Text, edit. Sorry, my desktop is a mess. It is a freaking mess. Go to this Facebook group. And if I select it and make it bigger, people can see. And this is the only place we'll be asking and answering questions as a group. And as a collective, we'll be answering it too. Facebook group. And we can do this group. This group. That's the group. Groups, Facebook.com, groups, Lawrence Tam, 100 commission. And I am going to show, you should see my group now. And I'm going to say tonight's Team Empower December 5th FAQ or Q&A, how you want to look at it, Q&A of our group of how or what we do online to build our biz. Ask your questions here. So as we let that load and let people jump onto that and ask some questions, let's bring out who actually came on tonight. Bottom left, we have Brian. Brian, you want to give a quick bio of who you are, kind of what you've accomplished, and some of the stuff you're working on.
Yeah, I'm lost for a second, Rand. I'm Brian Couch. I'm recently new to blogging, about 3 or 4 months or so. You know, I've been working at it, going through the training that Lawrence has got. I've been talking with some of these awesome people down here at the bottom. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yep. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, I've started to make some big strides in Empower. I'm excited about January. 2 events. Just posted that up there on my Facebook. Going to the Black and Tam event, and my second Empower Network event. I've been to several events before with my personal MLM and company stuff like that, and nothing like these Empower Network events. This one's something else.
Cool. We got Jan. Jan, you wanna step out and say a little bit as people fill up for questions and answers in our Facebook group?
Sure. Hey, how's it going? I'm Jan Michael. I'm basically a rocker. I just really got into the online marketing thing recently. I did a lot of online activism and campaign work in the past, and when I came across the Empower Network, I immediately realized how great it was and just started really focusing in on it. And at this point in time, I'm building my list. I'm doing an email newsletter, getting really good at blogging. Learned a lot of stuff from Lawrence and Toby, and I'm just really excited about Austin as well, and hope to see everybody on the hangout there.
Cool. So if you want to ask some questions about how we do it, Tracy is going to accept you. This is a group that you have to be accepted to come in. Facebook.com group/Lawrence Tam 100 commission, and that should work. That should bring you in to our group. I guess Christy jumped out. JC, you up, my man? Just give a quick bio of who you are and kind of what you're working on, and we'll answer some questions as people come on.
Yeah, hi, I'm JC Bustillos. Basically, I've been in the home-based business industry for about, I'd say, 5-7 years now, in various different roles. I've been actively blogging now through the Empower Network since about July of this year, and it's probably the best decision I've ever made. I mean, I wasn't really aware of how internet marketing worked, and now I feel like I'm starting to gain a little bit of momentum because of the great system that we're plugged in through Project Mayhem. For some of you that don't know what that is, but there's a lot of great information that's out there, and I've learned that first you have to kind of go through like 3 little phases. There's where you're actually learning. That's the learning phase. Then you have the application phase where you actually learn by applying what you're learning. And then you have the modeling phase where you model yourself after someone that is very knowledgeable and successful in the industry. Unfortunately, quite a few people on my
Honey, not right now, baby.
Lawrence Tam, the myth himself, the legend himself, So look forward to answering whoever's questions and talking with you guys and learning from everyone and all. So.
You got it. Murray, jump on out. I'm trying to fix this this post. Go ahead, Murray, jump on out, my man.
It's a nice looking pizza, but
and my computer's chugging.
Hello.
I keep getting kicked off, so occasionally you'll see a fake me, but this is the real me. I'm glad to be here with some badasses. I'm proud to be a member of Empower Network. It's so exciting, I can hardly put my thoughts together here. But the thrill of working together with these guys, led by somebody like Lawrence Tam, is an opportunity you don't want to miss. It's pretty exciting for me. I work full-time, about 10 hours a day as a financial analyst for a Fortune 500 company. And we're right in the middle of some heavy stuff in the finance world. There's a week every month where you're closing the books and you have to report to the SEC. And we're going through that stressful stuff this week. And so it's nice. My goal is to escape from all that with the freedom that the Empower Network provides. There's nothing else like it.
I think we lost Murray. Who else we got? Real? Maybe not. Maybe Tracy. Can you bounce on out? Who are you and why are you important?
Hey everybody, I'm Tracy Reuter. I'm actually one of Lawrence's right hand girl. A lot of you have talked to me, met me. I actually, if you want to know how to get attention of leaders, you want to produce, and that's why I am where I am today. Is Lawrence and I did business together. I came in, I produced, made him some money, and he trusts me. So my main focus is video. I do a lot of YouTube video. A lot of you have seen my videos. A lot of times I'm in baseball caps representing my teams because we're just real, and that's how we do it. And so I build this part-time, and I work part-time supporting Lawrence and Toby and Layla. So I do their marketing. So that's me. And just as a reminder, everybody, if you're not talking, mute yourself out.
Awesome. Josh Buck, before we get back to Valerie. Josh, what's up, my man? You haven't jumped on one of these before. Tell us about your quick background. It's a little unique to a lot of us. And just real quick, before we get into tonight's Q&As, if people have some questions, we can just have a discussion between us. Tell us, why you're significant and what you're doing on the internet space.
Well, my background is I'm very new to the internet marketing industry, and I work as a physical therapist, and I do that like 50 hours a week, and then 2 hours away in another state, I have a couple brick and mortar businesses, and one of them's a cross training, like non-traditional gym. And the other is a martial arts school. and I have a business partner that kind of runs day-to-day aspects of those, and then I come in 3 days a week and take care of things. So 4 days in one place and 3 days I'm in another, and it's just becoming too much. And so I was online trying to look for something to supplement my income so as that I could do what I wanted to do because I wanted to do it, not because I had to. And short version is I came across Empower, and I started looking for the leader that I could connect with, and I came across LT and how he was once where kind of I am as far as working full time, working way too much, and was able to dig and claw his way out of the grind and out of corporate America. And so I kind of connected with his story, and so I chose him and I signed up with him, and then I went to the Atlanta event and found out how successful he really was, and I had no idea. And so I've just been, I'm grinding with my brick and mortars right now, especially one. It's only like a year old, and so my time is quite limited, like just like Lawrence's was. And so I'm just trying to learn as much as I can in as short amount of time as I can, because again, I'm very new to this, and so I'm learning a ton, and I'm very excited, and that's kind of where I am right now.
Awesome. Hey, coolness. Hey Tracy, it's up to you. You know, boot as necessary. You are my right hand, Tracy. Okay, Valerie, can you just jump out quick 1 to 2 minutes before we start asking some questions? And I think Teddy has a question we can cover.
Sure. Yeah. Hi. And I'm Valerie Jampolsky, and I'm a single mom with twin little ones, which you'll see in the background. And that's my big why. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. Is I really want to be able to spend time with them, and I don't want the 2 to 3 year plan where I have to be sort of going nuts for 2 to 3 years in order to create some independence, because then I lose this precious time with my little ones. So that's why I'm so excited to be here, especially with you, Lawrence, as well, because learning how to do this, because you want to do this as a parent so you can spend time with your kids and to not have to worry about their future. And so I'm very excited to be a part of the team and being able to sort of create that.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, you're you have a background in law, correct?
Yeah, I'm an entertainment attorney. While I was pregnant with the twins, the company I worked for 10 years went bankrupt, and it was very challenging actually to find another position as an entertainment attorney. And frankly, to be honest, I don't know if I'd want it, because I talk about hours. If I was at a firm, my goodness, I could be there literally from 6 a.m. till midnight. I mean, that's what I did once at a firm. To make more money than you make in 1 month, Lawrence. Seriously, and that was for annual. I mean, seriously, and those are the hours I was putting in. And even in-house, it would have been like I'd have to be there from at least 9 or 10 in the morning till 6 or 7 at night, and then try to do things in the evening. And with little ones, they go to bed so early. I wouldn't see them. I just wouldn't see them. I wanted alternatives. So. Even if another job were to pop up right away, I want to get this going, because this is just something that just makes so much more sense. Plus, the market is really hard when you're, to be that kind of person.
Yeah. I mean, internet is a pretty cool place to be in right now. It's always been a pretty cool place once Google kind of put their stuff together. But let's get to the meat of it. Tracy will trim away as necessary. We are going to have one place we're going to be answering questions. If no one wants to step out, we'll just be talking amongst ourselves, and that's cool with me. We have a lot of people. We can discuss some pretty cool stuff. But the one place we're going to be answering questions will be in our group, facebook.com groups plural /Lawrence Tam 100 commission. Teddy came on and was asking, what's a quick question? What is a quick tip you can recommend to a newbie internet marketer so he can cash flow immediately, so he can go all in and get all the products or higher end products? One way I recommend, and I know Tracy has done this before, so I'll bring her out to talk about this, but one way you can cash flow yourself is being able to learn something and then trade your services or the things you've learned to someone who can use it. So here's an example. An example would be, let's say you spent a weekend learning how to write an SEO article for generic traffic. You know, maybe it's for baby goods, or maybe it's for a cradle, or maybe it's for a car. But you know, you read how you can do it, and you're doing it for yourself. You're driving traffic to yourself. Using SEO traffic. Now, someone's going to look at this and be like, okay, look, I want that. And so you advertise yourself. You can then be a writer. So charge $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever the market will bear, or whatever your skills are at that point. You can then leverage yourself and use your time to be able to offer yourself for money at that point. Basically, you're just trading services for time at that point until you can leverage yourself. And Tracy's done this very well, knowing how to connect with people. And this is why, I wanted her to work with me personally. Tracy, do you want to talk about how you were able to increase your cash flow immediately within 30 days?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, for many of you that I talk to, this is one of the things I tell you to do. Hey, Val, can you mute your line? There's a feedback. Every time I mute you, it unmutes.
Okay.
Up in the top. Anyway, so there's a lot of things out there. There's Fiverr, there's Odesk, there's Elance, and most of you know more than the majority of the people out there, right? And so in the beginning, when you are in a situation where you just have nothing, right? So for those of you that know my story, great success in network marketing, lost it all, had huge six-figure income in the corporate world, and then you get to this place where you just don't know what to do. And so you have talents. You have something that people are willing to outsource. There are people like Lawrence who are willing to outsource. You just have to find them. And so you have to get creative. There's a skill set that you have that you can market. And so and that's pretty much what I did. Is I started thinking, what can I do? What do I have? And it just again, like I mentioned earlier, because of the relationship and producing, but there are things, Fiverr.com, Elance, whatever it takes, you can go out there and utilize your skill set to bring in some extra income. And that's exactly why I do what I do for Lawrence. It's a win-win. I use the money I make by supporting him to put into going all in and being able to pay for paid traffic and outsourcing. So
Tracy, in a 30-day period, how did you, out of thin air, create income? And about how much, like income disclosure, we don't know what you're capable of, but in a 30-day span, Tracy, not from a network marketing company and not particularly from actually Empower Network, but it was related to it, but she's providing services, roughly how much did you make in 30 days?
I went from 0 to 6,000 in 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, and I had a little bit of income coming from some other places, but that's brand new.
Brand new income, providing services to those who need it, basically building good relationships. See, what people don't understand when they're pitching and spamming you basically on the internet, they're ruining relationships by not really getting to know the person, right? And it's not our fault. I'm not gonna bash on the person who doesn't know that, because I did that too, right? And what we want to teach you is, when you're using Empower, there is some rights and wrong ways to introduce it. And I say whatever works for you, but what Tracy has been able to do is build relationships past that. And what we want you to understand is your true value and your true business actually isn't Empower. Empower is actually one of the businesses that will pay you 90, 100% of what you really make, but the long term of your business is really you. And if you ever forget this, you will remember this when it comes a day when you can't sell Empower, or maybe you move to a country that doesn't accept Empower, or maybe eWallet banned you for whatever crazy reason, you know what I mean? And I've experienced this in another company. In another company, they told me you can't basically market the way you want to market. So they told me, and they dictated how I can earn my money. And that was a very, very reassuring fact to me, myself, that that's okay. My business is not really you. My business is me, my customers, my products, and my list, building your list. So Teddy, there really is no right or wrong way to cash flow yourself to get into it. If you need to be a writer, if you need to be an assistant, if you just need to be a guy who's a social media guy, hey, I'm going to log in for you on Facebook, and I'm going to make sure you don't get banned, but I will get you connect with everybody. I will connect your LinkedIns, your Twitters. You will have a social presence. You learn all of this stuff from the stuff that we teach you, the stuff you'll read on Warrior forums, the stuff you'll read on the internet. You can use your time. Use your time, because a lot of people think you have to know everything, and that's the wrong way to think about it. All we want you to really learn, just like in college, we want you to learn how to learn. That's the biggest thing I learned from engineering. They know the stuff they're going to teach you in the books, it probably doesn't really apply per se to the job you're going to the oil and fuel gas, to Motorola and semiconductor. There were some principles, but it really wasn't applied apples to apples. So it was just kind of like, you will figure it out because we taught you how to digest information and being able to use it as a building block. So what you learn from Empower, be it how to speed blog, be it how to do solo ads, be it by how to build team sites. I mean, this is stuff that you can teach someone, and you can teach it on an intimate one-on-one setting. And there are tons of people who will do this for Empower or any other network marketing company or even any other system. And you had a question right here. It was like, what's the best way to get over the guilt of not having a training website? I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no guilt for a training website if you have no team. If you have no team, why are you building a website? If you have a team, it really comes down to a point, when should you build a team website? It depends. It depends. It really depends, right? You wouldn't grab the baby? Sorry, it's crazy at Sam's house right now. So just to let you know, just because I don't work, I really have crazy times, and I still want to be able to sit in front of you and say, hey, look, you can have a family, build your family in through the chaos of having 3 kids, and still have a life where you can say, hey, look, I don't need a team site right now because my team isn't big enough. It's not sustainable at this point. And so don't worry about it, okay? There will be a point in time, and the master's course in Empower Network actually tells you that. Don't build a team site if your team is 5 people deep. It's called an email. Email your 5 people. That's all you got to do. Not a big deal. Have an email chain and you're talking at that point. What is the best way to leverage your sponsor for the fastest duplication? The fastest way is the way they teach. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen these kung fu movies back in the day where there's really bad ad-libbing. And so the student comes in, right? The student comes in and is like, dude, every time I'm trying to learn a new move from you, like Karate Kid, every time I'm trying to learn from you, you don't ever teach me. You tell me to paint the freaking fence. Every time I'm trying to learn this move or technique to block, you just tell me to sweep the floors. But what they're telling you is, I'm going to teach you by doing. And you might not see in the context of what you're doing, but if you do it, you're going to learn what we physically do. So the way I do it, everyone's different. The way I do it, I teach my teams like a classroom. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Tracy, can you pick up? Take it over, my girl.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the whole thing with Lawrence with the classroom, and it's really to leverage his time, because you want to remember, for each and every one of you, as you build a team, I mean, think about it. I think right now Lawrence hit like 679 personals. You don't want to be in a situation where you have to manage each and every one of those people. So you want to leverage systems. You want to leverage tools that can really save your time, right? So, and that's why we're doing this right now. And I know we're always trying to find ways to be able to add more and more value, but leveraging systems and not having to do one-on-ones. And so you want to watch everything Lawrence does, because ultimately every one of you on here wants to be in his situation. You want to make that kind of an income, but you don't want to be a prisoner to all that one-on-one everyday maintenance of your team. So
yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at people for wanting to speak to me all the time. I'm not gonna be mad at someone who's like, Lawrence, you don't respond to my text. Lawrence, I called you at 2 o'clock in the morning, you didn't pick up the phone. I can't really get mad at you because I was there. But what I want you to understand is, what kind of money do you really want to make, right? And so the best response, you'll get those below, Brian Couch, Jan, everybody on this team right here below that's on my personal team, they've seen it. Someone will come and ask them, I want you to personally mentor me. And the person, all of us, like Tracy included, everybody will be like, yeah, I'll help you. No problem, I'll help you. But I'm going to teach you, you got to remember, they paid you $25. They paid you $25 for a product that you referred them to. They did not buy your time for $25. They bought a product that you're using that you recommend. Okay? Here's an example. You have a $25, toothbrushes, They're like $100 now. So maybe $100 toothbrush, and you refer this toothbrush like, man, this Sonicare is the bomb. Do you want that person coming to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, can you teach me how to brush my tooth with this? You know, that's not what you, and you can do it. We have the urge, we want to do it because like you felt bad because I made money on that. Maybe I should help them out. You can and you will, but not in that way, okay? Not in that way. You can help them more by showing them how you produce. By how you produce. If you're not producing, that's actually a worse way of teaching duplication of not duplicating. Does that make sense? If you're not producing numbers, if you're not making money, but you're teaching someone how not to make money, slap yourself. Don't do that, all right? You're going to notice every successful person allows people to hang on with them, and then the people who actually do follow through, you spend time with them. These are the people you talk to. These are people you latch onto. You allow them to come onto your hangouts. These are people you want to invest time into. But it's not like we don't like you because you bought $25. We just want you to step up your game and learn. You can make a lot of money selling small products. I'm proof of this. I've made thousands of dollars selling small $10, $25 products, but you can't have them calling you, texting you, emailing you. How does this really work? Can you really do this? Will you be my best friend for doing this? You can't do that because it will bog you down. If it bogs you down, you can't run fast. If you can't run fast, it pulls your production down. And this is also something we teach in the master's course, how we had a lady, she has kids, and she was producing. And once she had a team, she felt like, I got to give everything back to them because I owe them. And once she did that, she spent more time on the team than on her own production, and now she's teaching her team, but she's not in the trenches building at this point. Her numbers dropped, her income dropped. Now as a leader, she's thinking, maybe I'm not worth the actual time to teach these people because I can't teach them how to be $1,000 an hour earner because I no longer am a $1,000 an hour earner because I'm spending too much time setting up people's AWebers, tweaking their little HTMLs, moving their banners, getting them on a call because I'm trying to call them to get to a conference call. You're wasting your time. Produce, show that in a video, give it to your team, duplicate. Those who actually take action will continue to take action, and they're going to go, wow, you mean if I really did shoot that video like the way you said to do it, and I just did a whole bunch of those, I'll get traffic, and you do it, that person comes in and goes, man, Lawrence, you're the man. And see, this is the type of person you want. Someone who follows by what you do, not really specifically what kind of what you say, but you tell them, and a lot of people just take a lot of time to just kind of take action, you know? And Tracy, she had, there was a girl, I don't know what her name is. She's new, and she's the one who really liked Rick. And she wrote me this like 5,000 word email essay. And as much as I want to read it, I'm extremely busy. But I have it, and I will read it. Just not right now. Right now is the end of the year, and just a quick tip, if you have not talked to your accountant lately, please do so. Because my accountant told me, you owe 6 figures in taxes. So she's scrambling on how to actually help me not pay Uncle Sam 6 figures in taxes. And I don't want to do that because I'd rather pay a shelter. I'd rather build a water well. I'd rather just give it to my kids' education. These are things that we forget because we're always so concentrated in building. So don't forget about your accountant. She's there, or your his or her accountant. And I definitely recommend, I don't care who you go to, get someone who's qualified, figure out what you're doing. Because you actually could be making no money, but your accountant will save you in deductions. And what is a deduction? Going to events, buying educational products, buying tools like a laptop, like a computer. You know, one thing, I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving professional opinion, but my accountant was an ex-IRS agent, and she's like, you have a multiple chance of being audited if you claim at-home office. So if you don't actually have an office, I recommend you rent one, okay? And that is tax deductible. So take it what it is, give it to your tax accountant. Hey, I don't want to do at-home office anymore because they will audit you. One reason why, they can look at my office over here and be like, hey, Lawrence, you have like a toy over here. Bam, not an office. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? You don't want the IRS in your office anyway. So, and a lot of you, if you're making, I would say in my team here, if you're making more than say $1,000 a month, it could possibly be worth it to you to not be a sole proprietor anymore. You might want to look at doing S corp. I would say LLC is not, it's limited liability. You might want to go S corp. I have 2 S corps, and there's many reasons to do so, for tax purposes and just whatever. Just a lot of stuff. Just get with your lawyer and get with your accountant. Tracy, go ahead and pick it up. Let me find some more questions.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just going to add one thing to that. And again, not an accountant, not a tax advisor, but if you're on this and you actually have a traditional job, one of the biggest benefits of having a home business is the tax benefits, right? And so even if you don't make a profit, get the right accountant, get the right advice. Anything that you do between now and the end of December 31st, it's a tax write-off for your taxes, even if you haven't made a profit. So I'm just telling you right now, if you're on the fence for any of the courses, anything, don't do it on January 1st. It would it's just dumb. I mean, really, you want to be able to do it sooner. So it's the last year I worked as a traditional employee, I was blown away, even without a profit, even without turning a profit. So while Lawrence is doing that, Lawrence, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, exactly. Remember, when you work for somebody and you're an employee, you don't have as many deductions. But when you're working on your own businesses, there's so many tax deductions. And I rule in 2013. Hope to have some type of webinar just for taxes. Now, the thing is with taxes, we have an international team. They might not, maybe we'll just do one for Texas or maybe for US if it does, all of the laws do apply. But there's stuff like pay yourself before you pay Uncle Sam, please. All right. Let's see what kind of questions we got. Brian, talk about copywriting, how to enhance the skill, who coached you, who mentored you. I'm finding that I'm getting opt-ins, but very little open rates and no signups. One thing you can do right off the bat from Steven is what you really want to do is split test your previous copy and then model those who maybe brought something out of you. Here's an example. You read an email and you go, dang, that's a great freaking email because it made me do something. It made me click the link. They clicked the email because of the subject line, right? Copy the subject line. So one of the things I learned from Mike Dillard, who's regarded in our industry as one of the top copywriters, he has a list, like an actual text list of every single subject line that has made him like do something. Like, wow, that really caught my attention. Wow, that made me really want to open up that email. You keep these around, right? Like one of my highest converting, here's a nugget. My highest converting for the last 3 months was, oh heck yes, and that one opened like a lot more than the rest of them. It was very simple, in quotes, oh heck yes. I think it said hell yes, but one of those. But it was very simple and to the point. All right, so how do you learn copy? We're actually going to be teaching copy, myself, Toby, and Layla. We're going to bring over an 8-figure earner, okay, 8-figure earner. So let's think about that. 6-figure earner is like 100,000 or 500,000. A 7-figure earner is $1 million earner. 8-figure earner is someone who makes 10 million a year plus. Okay, so this copywriter is going to be coming on and teaching copy. How do you learn copy? Here's the best hint I can give you. When you buy your milk and you buy your groceries and you're about to pay for your milk and your eggs and your bubble gum, look at the National Enquirer, look at the magazines next to you. Those are the highest paid copywriters on planet Earth. Highest, why? They have a split second to catch your attention. What did they write in those small 10-letter, 5-word headlines that allowed you to go, wow, they did get a divorce. Hey, how do I win my boyfriend over? What? That will make me fat. These are the different keywords, and what you can do is just take a picture of it. Take a picture of it. That will definitely help. Does anyone want to jump in about copy?
Yeah, keep a swipe file. Subscribe. Get on every. Set up yourself an email that you don't use on a regular basis, and go and subscribe to every single leader out there, and just get on their list so you can see what they're writing. I mean, that's a great way to learn, is just see, get on everybody's lists and keep all those emails.
Yeah. Let's go with Brad. What has been the best advertising money spent on traffic to your site? The best money I've ever spent is actually just spending on my own education. Now, that's not sounds cheesy. It's not a direct form, but I feel like the more I digested it, was the more content I could actually build. And if I don't build it, I could hire a writer to build it. Like right now, I'm having a ghostwriter write a blog post about Louis Vuitton purses because I just went shopping. And I'm thinking, I don't want to write it, but that keyword's actually pretty good. why don't I just let my writer write it, and I'll just let my writer do it. But it was like the idea of, consuming information and figuring out where people want to be. And I want to target women. I know that sounds gross, but I want to target women who want to make more money. And I know for a fact, women, when they get focused and they're about buying whatever, buying the new Palms, Jimmy Choo's, my wife is on a mission to buy this freaking house. I mean, she is like on a rampage, and it's funny because she pushes me harder, and it's even more hilarious. But she has that burning desire at that point, right? And that's my avatar. That's the person I want to market to. So I'm going to be marketing things that my wife enjoys. My wife is on I marketed one with freaking she went to go watch a movie. It was that Twilight movie. I go, Twilight is the worst. It's the worst. And I got a lot of views from that, and it's like interesting because that's their kind of that's their world. It's not my world. I don't want freaking Twilight, but that's okay because I'm after traffic. Tracy, can you put it away?
What did you say, Lawrence?
Sorry, Tracy, pick it up. I gotta round up the kiddos from behind me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a in terms of what was the question? It was about the best spend. So Lawrence is right. It's the education. So many people that I talk to on a daily basis get into Empower, and you guys can chime in here or shake your heads if you agree. It's like everyone's looking for the magic bullet. We don't want to join Get Rich Quick, but if we don't get rich quick, we're done, right? And so the truth of the matter is that the Empower Network is probably the best education platform you're ever going to get to learn the skills. And so the best way to do it is to dive into all the courses, learn as much as you can, and go and make a mess. Get as much content out there as you possibly can, and you'll start driving traffic if you're getting content put together and you're pushing it out there. Because remember, if you've been with Empower for 6 days and you've put up 6 blog posts but no one knows it because you've not pushed the content out, no one's going to see it. It's not going to get ranked on Google in 6 days. If you're brand new. So
you definitely want promotions. And we teach this in the 15K formula. If you're not actually promoting your stuff, well, who's gonna find it, right? The page rank of the Empower domain will help. Yes, having a huge website that has tons of traffic will help, but it doesn't help you as fast as you want to be. Now, I love the term "get rich quick" because my best response is, "Do you want to get rich slow?" And if anyone has that response to you is like, hey man, is this some get rich quick scheme? Yes, it is a scheme because I am planning to not get rich slow. And I had someone text, no joke, this morning, someone texted me, Lawrence, my wife says it's impossible to make money on the internet. She thinks it's a scam. She thinks there's no way you can be making the money you're making. My response, grow a pair of balls. Don't call me again until you do. That's it. Quick text. Freaking grow and be a man, you know what I mean? And so if people really have that mindset that they won't make it, they probably won't. Bye, you know what I mean? I can't help you. I can't tell you this freaking Oreo cheesecake I had at the Cheesecake Factory just now for my sister's birthday was the bomb. But if you never take a bite, you will never know. You will never know it is the bomb because you won't believe that it is the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of deal. If people want to live in misery, they will. They'll find a way to find it, right? Carrie, the next question. Carrie said, I started 5 days ago. I've written 6 blog posts, not learning a lot of technically online stuff. First question I would say to Carrie, how much have you invested in education and how fast do you want to go, right? And what are you blogging about? Are you blogging with the buddy? Why don't you grab a buddy and blog about? Why don't you, kind of really absorb? First thing I always recommend is buy 2 products that I would highly recommend off the bat for blogging is the hold on. Sorry, I got 6 and 8s who are just counting like crazy in the background. I would totally have them focus on the inner circle because the inner circle will give them ideas of what to blog about, what other leaders have been blogging about. And the 15K is more of a how-to. How to do this, how to speed blog, how to promote your blog. So when someone says, Lawrence, I want you to teach me because I spent $125 a month and I believe I want you to mentor me. And I go, fantastic. I would love to mentor you. But before you can talk to me, you're going to talk to my assistant. And my assistant's going to tell you, you need to buy the 15K because that's going to tell you. And they go, Lawrence, why don't you teach me? because the 15K is going to teach you better than I can teach you, and for cheaper too. For $1,000, you're going to be able to have, I think it's like 15 modules plus, talking about how to make $15,000 a month, or you can pay me $1,000 an hour. What would you rather have? Of course, you have something you can watch multiple times. You can't have me multiple times, right? So don't do that. Chris says, what is the best way to approach someone that you would like to offer your services to? The best way to approach is go, hey, my name is Chris. What do you do? That's it. Ask them a question. I had a guy, I was at my church function, and we were, it was like it was at his house, we were playing some church music and Christmas music, and they're all designers. Like, they all do SolidWorks and stuff I used to do. And I go, what are you doing now these days? Like, I'm doing SolidWorks. He's like, hey, Lawrence, do you want to do SolidWorks? I go, hell no, I don't want to do SolidWorks. He's like, why would you not want to do SolidWorks? Because it pays you like $50 an hour. He's like, what? You don't want $50 an hour? I'm like, no, I don't want $50 an hour. And that was the conversation. You know what I mean? And you don't even have to make a bunch of money to say, I don't want $50 an hour working for somebody until, I want to work for somebody. But right now, I will never work for somebody for $50 an hour. Why? It's not time driven. It doesn't allow me freedom to attract people. What Empower does, Empower brings people to you. So when I tell another person she's a consultant and she wants to break her business from consulting inside of companies, she wants to be a consultant outside of companies, I'm like, how are you branding yourself? And she's like, well, I'm gonna make a website. And the first question I ask her is, how are you gonna drive traffic to your website? And she's like, good question. And I gave her my business card. That's one way to do it. Just be a human. Don't be like, hey, you know what? I saw you on Facebook, and I think this is the best thing since sliced bread. You could do that, but someone's like, I didn't even ask you for bread. You know what I mean? So you really need to get to a point where, like, okay, how can you fix, help, encourage, solve someone's problem? If they ain't hungry, stop shoving your food in their face. They ain't hungry. You know what I mean? But a really good way is to watch people's updates. If someone goes, I had the best day today, I got off of work and had a beer at noon. And I go, that is your best day today. What was your best day last year? Last year, I got off at 11 o'clock and had a beer. I'm like, interesting. What if I could show you a way you can do that much faster and still trim off more hours and have a beer maybe at 9 o'clock? Will that interest you? So a simple question would be, do you have a plan to achieving that? 99% of the people go, plan for what? Well, if you don't have a plan, you have a plan to fail. So you ask them, hey, look, you had your best day or whatever you're solving the problems. Like, well, do you have a plan to going on that cruise, to taking your wife, to marrying your fiance, to being able to buy that car for your mom? Do you have a plan? And they go, no. Then you go, would you like a plan? And they go, well, yeah, I don't have a plan. Then you're not like shoving it down their freaking throat. You go, well, here's a plan I've been working on, and there's a lot of people who've been working on this plan that you can do from home. And so that's kind of how I intro it. But remember, everyone's different. Everything in terms of niches are different, and everything, you can't just be very blunt. So people ask for scripts. The script I tell you is, be a human being. If you're a human being, would you do that at a party? You know what I mean? Would you go to someone's party, go in, have a drink, and then shove like a link in someone's face? Hey, check this out. Bam, link. You wouldn't do that. You go, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? Oh, really? What do you do for a living? People love to be asked what they do because they're boring. Everyone knows they're boring inside. And if they're not boring, they're going to tell you they're not boring because they're drunk and just rowdy, right? But inside, they're boring. So people want to know they're taking interest in them. Just ask them simple questions. How are you doing? You know what I mean? Who wants to ask this question, Murray? Who wants to answer this question? Guidelines and insights to tweaking or totally revamping autoresponder messages to captivate, connect, and convert prospects to sales. Who wants to jump out and answer that?
Just get after it. Get moving. Start taking action. I've been sending out broadcast messages, talking to my list. I got a lot more personal with them, and I found that has definitely helped out. I went to a football game with my girlfriend. I sent some pictures of us, and I told them about what we were doing, how happy we were, how much fun we had, and then I said, while I was doing that, I got a commission, and I shared that with them, and got great responses. One of the better things. So, you know, not all my emails do everything, and some of them do. So kind of really what I would say is just do it. Do it every single day. Do it twice a day. Send out broadcasts, and whatever works, put that in your follow-up. One little thing I could add, though, is when people don't, you know, I had kind of a low open rate. I'm not going to explain how to do this. You can Google it. But in Aweber, there's a way to send just to people who didn't open your message and just change the title and try again. You know, and in that way, I got more people to view the same email, kind of leverage the previous work that I did that way. And whatever works, keep that in your follow-up. If it doesn't work, move on.
That's an awesome tip. Recapturing traffic that didn't get your message. So an example is this. Say you knew a way you put these door hangers on people's houses, okay? And the door hangers, they stay there until actually someone either takes it in or throws it away. But you know they did something with it, right? But what if you knew if that door hanger was still there, you know they're not doing anything with it. They didn't really take it into the house. They haven't digested the message. But you knew in this square block, everyone who has no door hanger, they've done something. Why don't you send a rep there to talk to them? Because you know they've actually had a response to it. What Brian actually talked about was if you have 100 people on your list and 10% open, that means only 10 people actually opened your email. 90 just fell through spam, or maybe they just missed it, or maybe, you know, whatever. They got buried. It happens all the time. So what you do is you can retarget the 90. Talk to those specifically, have the same message, but change the header. Maybe your subject just sucked. You change the subject line just a little bit. Those 90, maybe another 10% open. Well, guess what? You had the same message, 2 headers, 2 headlines, or 2 subject lines. Now you have 20 people out of 100. This is how you can squeeze responses out of the same pool of people who before probably wouldn't have done anything. So there's many different ways to kind of do this. Who wants to pick up the question that talks about should you only write on one topic on your blog, or should you write about everything? What are some opinions on here?
You should write about as many topics as you can. I think if you have a strong topic, you might want to focus on it. But I try to write on as many different things as I can, and I bring in a lot more different people. You know, I try to have a congruence in myself as my personality, so that when they sign to my list through emails, they still recognize me from my blog. But I would recommend that you just write what you're passionate about, whatever interests you, and also whatever's going to rank.
Absolutely. That's why things have categories, right? You know, I mean, your blog has some categories on the side. So whatever you happen to want to write about that day, give it a little category, and hopefully you can have more than one thing in that category. But if not, you know, as long as whatever you want to talk about, go for it.
I'd like to add that the cool thing about Empower is you get the freedom to write whatever you want, and you can make money with whatever you want to write. Now you can focus on something that appeals to the people you're trying to attract. There's another train of thought that says take whatever's streaming on Google and YouTube, you know, topics that are real hot, and do a quick blog post and take advantage of the momentum of the time, and leverage, you know, everybody else's interest in that topic to your blog post. So there's so much variety you can do. I think ultimately you want to establish a kind of a persona and a brand for yourself. And personally, I like to focus on who I'm trying to target with my blog posts.
Christy, I don't know if you've came up before. Why don't you take one of these questions? I know you're newer, correct, Christy?
Yes. Yeah, I'm new.
You're newer? Okay. What was your last blog about?
Believe it or not, I have not done a blog post yet.
It's okay. Empower allows you to market any way you want because it's actually a blog with a marketing system that has a capture page. So if you're just a pure marketer who just does paid traffic, you're not going to use the blog, right? So what we would recommend from all of our panel here, do both. Pick one or the other, but don't pick none, right? If you pick none, you don't blog, you don't do paid traffic, you don't drive people to a capture page, you're not going to make any money because you're not building a list. Because one of the questions that Shawnita had was, how do you build a list quickly? And the only way I can say it is to your strengths. If you're really good at numbers, split testing, understanding conversions, paid traffic, as long as you have some type of income that can support the paid traffic, you will continue to roll that up. But if you're really tight on funds, or you're just like a loose cannon, you don't even know what a number 9 or 6 even looks like, do writing, do SEO, do video marketing. If you're like a TV personality, do video marketing, right? That will definitely where you want to be going. We got 8 minutes left. What questions does the panel have? Any questions? All right. Well, my kids are about to go to bed. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's do a 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna do a 1 minute quick training on where I believe if you want to take your business to the 10K mark, and the fastest way to do it. All right. And personally, personally, I think the fastest way you can take your business to 1K, if you just focus on what makes you money, and I always say it as money-making activities, the one thing, if you just focus on this, everything else will build towards it. Get as many people to your sales pages. Your sales pages. Now, I didn't say capture page. I said sales pages, okay? And I didn't say empower pages. I just said sales pages. So if you think about it and you go, okay, the only thing I remembered is Lawrence says get people to sales pages. What does that really mean? The way I do it and the way I have done it over the years is you have a sales page that sells something, be it your stuff or someone else's stuff. Most people will say they drive traffic directly to the sales page. Now, I said, yes, get people to the sales page, but once you drive traffic from that one person and they didn't buy, they're gone. They disappeared. You have no way to contact them again. But what if you had a list of people who you can continue to driving to a sales page? This is what a list is. And how do you build a list? You drive people to a capture page. Get your traffic going to a capture page first. Problem is, a lot of people send their traffic, paid traffic, or even their blog traffic. I still kind of do this, and I'm trying to wean myself off of it. They send their direct traffic to someone else's capture page. They're thinking, well, they got leads, they'll take it, whatever. No, don't do that, because you just made them money building their asset. Don't do that, okay? You want to build your asset, build your leads. If you build your leads, you can send them to any sales page at that point over and over again, depending on how you're trying to fix their problems or needs. And here's a cool ninja trick. You can build different lists. You can have a list just specifically for health niches. You can have a list that's just a car enthusiast. You can have a niche that's just chicks who love purses. You can have a list for foodies, people who love to eat, people who love comic books, people who love video games. It's more difficult to do that because you really have to get out of your zone of, well, what do they really want and how can I service them? How can I help them? But when you realize the list, you can continue to deliver value to them years later. You will understand why sending your traffic to a network marketing capture page on the internet first is basically you're basically setting up your grave. You are basically saying, I don't care where my business will go in a year, 2, 3, 4 years. Because when you are an independent rep, the only thing you own is your leads. You don't own anything else. So if you're not driving that, you make money from sales pages, but your list is what you live on. You must be building your list, all right? If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on a blog post, if you're watching this recorded, down below, there's probably a button for you to join, or maybe an opt-in box for you to join. Go back to the person who referred you to that. If they were you were on someone's subscriber list because you're trying to learn how to do SEO or you're trying to figure out a way how to build a website, and someone sent you this, wherever you're watching, probably below, if it's on YouTube on their channel, probably below, there's going to be a button for you to click. Click it, go work with them. You would definitely want to dive in and truly understanding you can make a fantastic living on the internet. And the only thing that's preventing you is because you're not taking action. It's just bar none. You're not taking action. You're not doing the things that we teach you in Empower. You're not actually doing the things in the 15K, and you're not following the footsteps of people who have done it before you. Currently, right now, I believe, Tracy, please correct me if I'm wrong, there's at least 4 people who've made more than $100,000 in Empower in 1 month. Is it 4?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, there's about 4, maybe there's a couple more, but at least 4 who did $100,000 in commissions, not sales. Okay, not like, oh, he sold. No. Commissions, commissionable things that comes into their bank. 4 people in the same month did over $100,000 just in Empower. And the thing that we want to teach you is Empower is about empowering you, educating you. You want to be a pimped out real estate agent in your city. You can do it with SEO. You can own the city if you wanted to. You want to sell cars? You have a chop shop? Whatever. I don't care what you have. You can learn from traffic generating methods that we teach you. I have a lawyer on my team. She's like, I don't know if I want to use Empower because they cuss too much. But I'm like, but you understand, Empower is not about that. Empower is about empowering you to learn. You can come into Empower. You don't even have to sell the system. Just have the system to learn. Understanding SEO, understanding paid traffic, why a marketing system works. Why do you have a capture page and a sales page? Why do you split test capture pages? What is this stuff about conversions? What is a follow-up? Why do you even need a follow-up? Things like this, and why do you do events? Got it? We're going to have an event in Austin. I definitely want to see every single one of you in Austin. There's 3 things in Austin. There's going to be a luncheon for my team. Guests are welcome. Anyone who's watching this is welcome. Friday, probably 1 to 3 on that Friday. I think it's January 18th, 2013. Empower is 3 days long. That following Monday, we're going to have a Black and Tam training seminar, probably about 8 hours, kind of teaching kind of the stuff that we want to teach you on a longer-term basis on how to scale your business up. Myself and my business partner, I believe in 10 months we did about $750,000 in commissions. Combined, I think we did about $5 million in sales. And we did it part-time from home, and I had a newborn. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. I didn't even graduate top 10% of my class in high school. That's how bad it was. So it's not about how smart you are. It's that you got it going. Got it going. Peace out. We did it in 1 hour. Congrats.